We were strangers on a crowded street. Eyes met and I forgot to breathe. Every word was a spark in the dark. I thought you were the safest place for my heart, but silence was your second skin. You kept the truth buried deep within. Meeting you, loving you, losing you, my greatest lesson in the heart is truth. You ran from the fire, but I still burned. Gave you my soul, got nothing in return. Meeting you, loving you, losing you, still feels like love I can't undo. You were a runner, always half a step gone, smiling with secrets you leaned upon. I kissed a mask, not the man inside. You lied with your eyes, but I still tried. I held on while you let go. You left with love you'll never show. Meeting you, loving you, losing you, my greatest lesson in the heart is true. You ran from the fire, but I still burn. Gave you my soul, got nothing in return. Meeting you, loving you, losing you, still feels like love I can't undo. I wanted words, you gave me silence. I wanted love, you gave me distance. Still I would choose it all again, even if it only meant meeting you, loving you, losing you, my greatest lesson in the heart is truth. You ran from the fire, but I still burn. Gave you my soul, got nothing in return. Meeting you, loving you, losing you, still feels like love I can't undo. Meeting, loving, losing, still feels like loving you.
Hello, and welcome to Podcasts for Souls, the podcast where we dive into the fascinating world of AI-generated music, love, relationships, and the law of attraction. And today we're exploring the new Synthesized Souls music.
And I'm Anna, and today, Aliyah, we are diving deep into a topic that I know resonates with so many of our listeners, and honestly, with me personally. We're talking about soul ties and soul contracts.
It's such a fascinating and sometimes complex area, Anna. We hear terms like soulmates, twin flames, karmic relationships, but what do these truly mean? And how do we discern them in our own lives?
Exactly. And I think it's easy to misunderstand some of these connections. I know I certainly did.
Oh, do tell. This sounds like there's a story brewing.
There. So the intended path of growth or partnership was derailed by karmic lessons that needed to be addressed. Always is, isn't there? So for a long time, I used to refer to an ex-partner of mine, someone I had a very intense, almost instantaneous connection with from the Netherlands, as my soulmate.
Ah, the she just gets me kind of feeling.
Precisely. It was that magnetic pull, that feeling of having known her forever, even though we'd just met. The synchronicities were off the charts. It felt destined, fated even. It was undeniably a profound meeting. I mean, the universe practically pushed us together.
So you were convinced it was a soulmate connection.
Absolutely. For years, that was my narrative. But over time, and with a lot of reflection and honestly some guidance from spiritual teachers, I've come to understand it differently. It wasn't a soulmate in the purest sense of the word. What I actually had with her was a soul tie, or more accurately, a soul contract from a past life.
That's a powerful distinction. Can you elaborate on what led you to that realization?
Well, what started as this incredibly intense, beautiful connection, eventually it turned. It was almost as if what was meant to be a soulmate connection, something harmonious and growth-oriented, veered sharply and became karmic. There was a betrayal, a significant one. And that's when things really shifted for me.
So, the intended path of growth or partnership was derailed by karmic lessons that needed to be addressed?
Exactly. It felt like we had this agreement, this contract from a past life to meet, to experience certain things, to learn specific lessons. And the initial magnetic pull was the universe saying, hey, pay attention. This person is important for your journey. But instead of evolving into that pure, supportive soulmate dynamic, the patterns of the past life, whatever they were, started to repeat. The betrayal was almost a mirror of something that needed to be healed.
That's a profound insight, and it makes so much sense, because often we confuse intensity with destiny in a purely positive sense. But destiny can also bring us face to face with our deepest wounds to be healed.
Precisely. So this quote-unquote soul contract was effectively voided in the way it was meant to play out for my highest good. The lessons were learned, but through pain and heartbreak. And for a long time, even after the relationship ended, there was this nagging feeling of unfinished business. Like there was still this energetic thread connecting us, an open loop.
That sounds incredibly heavy to carry. How did you navigate that feeling of unfinished business?
It was difficult. There was always that thought in the back of my mind, will we meet again? Is this truly over? Because if it was a soul contract, a past life agreement, then the potential for those karmic patterns to repeat in this life, or even in a future life, felt very real and daunting.
And that's where the concept of consciously breaking or voiding these contracts comes in, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I did quite recently, actually. During the last full moon, I made a conscious decision and went through a very deliberate process to cut the cord. It was about releasing that energetic tie, voiding the contract, and consciously choosing to no longer be a part of that particular soul agreement with her. It was about saying, I've learned what I needed to learn from this. I'm choosing a new path.
Wow, that takes immense courage and self-awareness. What did that feel like? What was that process like for you?
It was incredibly liberating, Aaliyah. I visualized it, I meditated, I set clear intentions. It was about acknowledging the past, acknowledging the lessons, but then consciously closing that chapter. It was about declaring that I was breaking the cycle, that I was not going to allow any past life karma to repeat itself, and that I was no longer signing up for a potential repeat of that soul contract in this life or any future ones. It was a release of obligation, of expectation, of that lingering energetic pull.
That's such a powerful act of self-sovereignty. It's about taking control of your own energetic blueprint, isn't it?
Exactly. It's a declaration that you're evolving beyond those old patterns. It's about not allowing a past life or a past agreement to dictate your present or your future. It's an assertion of free will within the cosmic dance.
For our listeners who might be experiencing something similar, this feeling of an intense connection that has turned difficult or karmic, and this sense of unfinished business, what advice would you give them based on your experience?
The first thing is self-reflection. Ask yourself, is this connection genuinely serving my highest good now? Is it bringing me joy, peace, and growth? Or is it continually bringing up old wounds and patterns? The second is to trust your intuition. That gut feeling often tells us when something isn't quite right, even if our minds are trying to rationalize it as destiny. And finally, If you feel there's a need to cut a cord or void a contract, do so with intention. It doesn't have to be a grand ritual, but a conscious decision, an energetic declaration that you are closing that chapter and reclaiming your energy.
And it sounds like it's not about erasing the experience, but integrating the lessons and then moving forward unburdened.
Precisely. The lessons are invaluable. That intensity, that fated meeting, it happened for a reason. But once the lesson is learned, we don't need to keep repeating the class. We can graduate.
Graduate from the class. I love that analogy. This has been such a vulnerable and insightful share, Anna. Thank you for opening up about your experience. It truly illustrates the difference between what we think is a soulmate and what might actually be a soul tie or contract designed for karmic growth.
My pleasure, Aaliyah. It's a journey we're all on, and sometimes sharing our own path can help light the way for others.
Absolutely. And for all our listeners out there, if you've had experiences with soul ties, soul contracts, or karmic relationships, we'd love to hear your stories. Connect with us on social media using hashtag SynthesizedSoulsPodcast.
And remember, your energetic boundaries are sacred. You have the power to consciously choose the connections you nurture and the contracts you honor.
Wonderful words to end on. Let's pause our conversation for a quick break. We'll leave you with the song Soul Tied by Synthesized Souls to enjoy until we return.
We were written in the stars before we met. A contract in the silence, signed in breath. Every lifetime I've been chasing your flame. Every shadow still remembers your name. I feel the pull when you're near. A fire that never disappears. We're so tight, out of space, out of time. Two flames burning on the same line. No goodbye, just a loop in the sky. Forever bound, you and I, so tight. Every heartbreak was a path back to you. Every moment, just a thread pulling through. I could lose you, but I'd find you again. In another body, another skin. I feel the pull when you're near. A fire that never disappears. We're so tight, out of space, out of time. Two flames burning on the same line. No goodbye, just a loop in the sky. Forever bound, you and I, so tight. When the world fades away, I know every lifetime leads me home to your eyes, to your light. We're so tight.
Welcome back, Anna. We just heard a fascinating summary of a reading on a karmic connection, and it sounds incredibly intense.
It really does, Aaliyah. The reading defined karmic connections as these incredibly deep soul ties, often even more profound than soulmate connections, specifically designed to be the vessel for a big life lesson.
Right, and the speaker called them a trap, which is a loaded word. They apparently are designed to fit your type and make you fall deeply in love just to keep you engaged long enough to complete that lesson. No one-night stands allowed. The connection has to be deep.
Exactly. That depth is what hooks you. But the real meat was in that no contact confession. It confirmed the connection is uniquely joyful and deeply loving, yet the person disappeared anyway.
And the reason for the ghosting wasn't that the individual wasn't enough. It was the complete opposite. They felt too weak to handle the pressure of their own feelings and the need to level up to be a stable partner. They thought disappearing would be easier.
Which of course backfired. The most telling part for me was the individual's strength. The person confessed they were scared by the individual's bravery. The fact that the individual stood tall and didn't chase them highlighted their own weakness and fear.
That's a huge mirror moment. The Lover's card and the Grim Reaper basically seal the deal. This is a soul-level decision. Step up and match the individual's energy, or lose them forever.
And that Grim Reaper card confirms the painful truth. The old version of that relationship is dead. The person knows they destroyed it, and the individual has outgrown them.
Ultimately, the message is transformative for the individual. That person's actions, however painful, were the catalyst. They were meant to wake the individual up to their own power. The old relationship is over, but the individual's new life is a miracle. What a powerful, albeit tough, lesson to absorb.
Aaliyah, that reading described my last relationship exactly. A connection that felt like a soulmate but ended up being fiercely karmic. Honestly, I struggle with the whole soul contract from a past life idea. If we had an agreement, why did I have to pay the price when she was the one who broke the contract? She didn't fulfill her part. She ran from the relationship and left me in the cold, feeling completely abandoned. That classic Five of Pentacles moment. I had to pick up the pieces and rebuild my life while still deeply in love with her. Not chasing her was one of the hardest things I've ever done. While I wish things were different, I have learned a profound amount since her betrayal and departure.
That sounds incredibly painful, Anna. It's completely understandable why you'd be skeptical about the idea of a past life soul contract, especially when the experience was so devastating. It's natural to question, why me? Why did I have to pay this price, when you're the one left with the emotional fallout?
I left Europe to start over from nothing. I walked away from my career, my country, and everything I knew, just to be with her. And in return, she betrayed me. Looking back, the red flags were everywhere, yet I stayed, hoping she would change, believing she loved me. But she carried too many secrets. Even a recent tarot reading from Fire Tarot confirmed what I had already uncovered on my own. My ex never spoke a word of truth. 9 years have passed and she still remains silent. She'll take those secrets with her to the grave.
That's an incredibly powerful and devastating story, Anna. To leave your career, your country, and everything for a person, only to be met with betrayal and abandonment, is a monumental sacrifice that few people understand. It sounds like you were fully committed to the ideal of the relationship and the person you believed her to be. It's completely understandable that you'd look back now and see the red flags you stayed for, holding on to the hope that she would change, or that her love would finally materialize into the stability you deserved. That hope is often the strongest part of the trap in a karmic connection. The fact that you uncovered the secrets on your own, years later, and that she has maintained absolute silence, not speaking a word even after all this time, speaks volumes. Her silence is her final and clearest action. As you said, she's choosing to carry those secrets with her. The most important takeaway here is not what she failed to do, but what you did. You chose yourself. You made the hard choice not to chase, and ultimately, you made the monumental decision to leave Europe and start all over again. That is the transformation the reading spoke of. You activated your own power and began your miracle. How does it feel to be able to look back now, even with the pain, and acknowledge the immense strength it took to completely rebuild your life?
It feels bittersweet. The pain is still there. Betrayal leaves a scar that doesn't fully fade. But when I look back now, I can also see the strength it took to walk away, start over, and rebuild from nothing. At the time, I thought I had lost everything. But what I really lost were illusions. What I gained was resilience, self-respect, and the ability to stand on my own again. I didn't see it then, but now I know. Choosing to rise after being broken was the greatest proof of love I could ever give to myself.
Let's wrap up today's discussion on soul ties, soul contracts, and karmic relationships. We'll be inviting an expert on this topic in a future podcast to dive even deeper.
Before we go, I want to take a moment to tell you about something truly special. My new novel, She Loved Me Wrong, is out now. This isn't just a book, it's an immersive experience. I've included original lyrics and music directly into the story, designed to let you lose yourself in the narrative as if you're living it yourself. You can grab your copy today on Amazon and directly from Aaliyah's website. Dive in and let the story and the music sweep you away.
Also, for those of you who appreciate the unique sounds you've heard, the music project Synthesized Souls was created this year. If our work resonates with you and you'd like to support future creative endeavors, we welcome donations.
That's all for today's episode of Podcasts for Souls. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of AI-generated music.
We are thrilled to share that. We will be interviewing several incredible tarot readers and spiritual healers. I hope their insights are truly helpful on your spiritual journey.
Be sure to check out the Synthesized Souls YouTube channel for more incredible tracks. Until next time, keep exploring the sounds of the future.
We'll leave you with Synthesized Souls track Crush, 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 inspired by my own little crush. What can I say? She's got me writing songs left and right. Some are already out, and others are waiting their turn. Hope you feel the butterflies
and it
in
feels
this
so
one, just
right.
like I did.
Got that high school crush, can't sleep at night. You shine your light, I bring the sound. Together we could shake the whole world around. It's a crush, 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 oh the energy. Vibration and rhythm in perfect harmony. My sound waves, your healing, look what we've begun. You and me together, moving as one. 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 Met you online, and it feels so right. Got that high school crush, can't sleep at night. You shine your light, I bring the sound. Together we could shake the whole